Oshonikawat, Galeele Nikachiteto, Kohig, Wade Blevins, Dawaton, Jalagagantino, Unole, Dawaton, Kohig, Skigatu, Sine, Jalagia de Lo Quaste. So, welcome to RSU TV Cherokee 3. My name is Wade Blevins, and this is our 15th Cherokee lesson, I believe. So, come. We'll go ahead and get started. So today, I believe we are finishing up the fourth verse of the hymn to be sung at meals. And remember, we talked about, I think this would be a great opportunity for you. You could use this to use as a prayer, or you could sing it. So either way, I think it would be really great when you're asked to bless a meal or something like that, because it probably will happen. It's a fairly easy prayer to learn. There are just four verses. So let's go ahead and kind of take a look at the three verses that we've done up to this point. Okay? So here is this. Here is the first verse, and this says, Hikta hesti ahni gaskila jagawi yuhi. Know this place, King Ale Nigan. Oh, Nikana de Guo. Nikana de Guo. Ejalaguo di skai. Okay? Ejalaguo di skai. And so that's, know this place here at your table, O King, and everywhere, in all places, you will be loved, you'll be praised, you'll be worshipped. Okay? The next one says, Nihigu didaleni jojal stayanti ha, jojal stayanti ha, ale Ujati ayan ijayali elije ha. Ijayali elije ha. Okay? And that says it starts with just you, our meal. Our meal starts with you, and very much we are grateful. The third one says, Ochata do li sti ha, skia te ga, le all staya di, skin si, dokato da gwe ga. So this says, we're praying, hear us, and give us food every day. Okay, so we've made it that far. Then the fourth one goes on. I believe that this was ta. Let's go ahead and we'll try to read it. Higoliya. Okay, so ta li ni go he sta no. Okay, so I think that probably in today's Cherokee, we would probably replace this li with a tli. Because down here it says make them strong. So it would be like ta tlinigo hishtana, ta tlinigo hishtana, make them strong. It's a command, and we've learned before, if you remember, I believe it was Cherokee 2, we learned that word utlinigit, right? Utlinigit means he is strong, And this is a command saying, make them strong. Ta klinigo his tana. Okay? And I believe that probably this da, most speakers today would probably replace that with a ta. I believe. But when maybe in the next lesson when Miss Peggy is here, we'll ask her opinion, how she would probably write that. Okay? Then this next one, na school, and then jogatanto, our hearts, jogatanto. This is jogadana do, jogadanto, jogadanto. Nigaan, everything, jaduliska, everything that you wanted, jaduliska, everything you wanted, iyogadane di, iyogadane di, iyogadane di. Everything that you wanted for us to do. Okay, so that's the last part of this hymn. So we will go ahead and we will try and sing, excuse me, we'll go ahead and we'll try to sing all 4 verses. We're going to go ahead and sing it to the tune that we had previously learned. Remember, I talked about there were 2 different tunes for this. We'll go ahead and sing it with the tune of Take My Life and Let It Be. And we'll go ahead and sing all 4 verses, or I'll give it my best shot. My voice is still a little trashed out from earlier, but I will do my best. So come, Didi Nogi, okay? Hingata hestiani kaskila jagawi yuhi Haleni ganadagu Ejalagu diskai Ejalagu diskai Nihigu didaleni Jojalistaya Ale ujati aya Hijayali elijeha Hijayali elijeha Hojanda dolistiham Skia dagagale Alistaya diskia si Doga doda gwegai Doga doda gwegai. Okay, last one. Talini go histano Nasku jogadanando Niga jaduliska Iogadanedi Iogadanedi. Okay, so that's all 4 verses. To me, at least in my personal opinion, this is one of those songs that really you kind of have to sing all 4 verses for it to really make any kind of sense. At least to me, if you just do the part that says, "Know this place here at your table, clean, and everywhere you'll be praised," that's not really much of a meal prayer, right? And so you need at least, it says, "Begins with only you that we can eat this meal, and very much we're grateful." So at least you need the first 2 verses to learn if you're going to use it. I think, in the real world. But then the 3rd verse says, we're praying, hear us and give us food daily. Make our hearts strong. Everything you want for us to do. So I think that, the 4 verses together really make it a good prayer to do. And it's, at least in my personal opinion, even if you're not necessarily Christian, maybe even if you're Gatillo or something like that, it still works, because even at Gatillo, at our stomp grounds, we use the word unetlana for the word for God. And so I think this works both ways, regardless of what your religious inclinations or leanings might be. So I think this is going to be a really helpful thing for you to do. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go on, and we're going to read through our possum story. And I want to have plenty of time because I want to get a little bit farther. So I'll read as quickly as I can. As I've mentioned, here in Cherokee 3, we're not using a whole lot of phonetics. We're trying to use syllabary almost entirely, which makes it an added challenge. It makes it a challenge for myself as well. It even makes it a challenge for a lot of first language speakers, because we just don't read that often in our language, and so we have to kind of stumble our way through and make our way through. But the more we do it, the better we get at it, and the more we're going to improve, right? So so let's go ahead and let's see how far in the narrative we get today. So this says, "Ujetsti kaya sole adaleni ska gani da dai igana hid jogatu ale joskohi galgogi isi tadisti." Okay, and there real quickly, for those of you that are kind of trying to translate as we go, you can check yourself here. Okay, gani data uyela ha ale gana hisa soneli ale sonela du isi tadisti. Okay, there's the translation for that. Duwan katla ale judalen da gohusti yigakwenan gani data. Okay, that's what that one talking about. Ganage uskolai ju nalsuit ale usti danililko. And here's that part there. Okay. Higsko ego danin doko ale ganege dinik tol. Okay. So even myself, as I read through there, I'm like, oh, what is this one talking about? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then that helps me kind of know what sounds to leave in, what sounds to take out. Sikwa ujesti marsupials dano sehon anid gano dani dani ni dohon dani ni dohon. Remember, this is a typo, at least I believe it is. It should be dani ni dohon, carrying them around, right? Jun Loyi, Gowala Yon, Ale Udlawat Ujesti. And that's Gowalion and Udlawad. Udlawad. And we talked about that word Udlawad, like it's a word for like a pocket. And it's, again, talking about that pouch that they use. That's kind of the definition of a marsupial. Okay? Ujetsti, unas marsupials ane amayetli juhudla. Ujetsti unas marsupials ane amayetli juhudla. Okay? Ujetsti inagei aneho ale sanoyi inu go. All right, that's that part there. Delkai danili donho ale seskino ga don squu unilukti unedosti. Okay, let me read that through one more time. Delkai danili donho ale seskino ga don squu unilukti unedosti. Uskanol ge son. That's a really easy sentence. Unilukti unigisti kanukatli kuwa sergi sankta tskoya judalena junsti gisqua juwej walosi tiohatli ale gistana. Okay. Excellent. Ujetsti unilukti uyozhi gitli unigisti ale ulkayo. Oh no, ulihoja ganatlai juko danigisko. Okay. So ujetsti unilukti uyozhi gitli, that should be tli, not g, gitli unigisti ale ulihoja ganatlai jukol danigisko. Okay. Okay, this one says Duni jalti gugi danigiska. Okay, Duni jalti gugi danigiska. Okay. Sikwa ujetsti tali ale nuki iju detiyud anehon. Okay. Sikwa ujetst tal ale nuk iju detiyud anehon. Okay, EU dali ha go husti you skasta neli uli waja aje lensko Jan sug you tat log le dik tol jus du id ge soi. All right. So hopefully you kind of remember what this one was about. Then it says, school unili water un jelen uyon se jisko se asem se jihisko se jihisko. There, that makes more sense. Okay. So school unili water un jelen uyon se jihisko. And that's the one about it smelling bad, right? Jusadon delka un jaon ale hawintit du nilska ale junostedla aninelon. And that talks about where they live, right? And where is it that they live again? Jusadon delka, hollow trees. Ale hawintit dunilka, stumps, under stumps, ale junostedla, and roots, right? Okay. Tal skohisk yani junsti yanade hergon se no tla negod yidan tusko. See, I have to really think about it for it to make sense. So Talsko Hisk, 25 yani of them, Junsti, babies, Yande Haga, they give birth. Saying no, but Klanigod, not all of them, Yidan Tusko, not all of them grow up, right? Okay. Junsti, Hisk, Unadodakwask. Okay. Un Taon Gano Dai. Okay. So they live about 5 weeks in the pouch. Tall yanudi hon yanudi no ga sonhi uniji un kila di dagon. Okay, so I believe this is new for us. I think this is one of our new sentences. So let's kind of slow down and read our way through it. So, ta li, okay, to, ya ne di no, ya ne di no, and this no kind of tells us that this is an addendum onto the previous thought. Tal ya ne di no. 2 months, I believe. This is related to the word nada, which means the sun or the moon, right? So, ga sohi, her back, uniji, their mother, un kila di dagon, un kilud. Again, I think that this word might ring a bell for you, un kilud. I believe we talked about it in either Cherokee 1 or Cherokee 2. And un kilud, that means to ride on something, anything that can be straddled, right? So un kilud could be a bicycle, a horse. Those are the only things, or riding on apparently somebody's back. So so let's see how close I was to being right. All right, yes, and then 2 months they ride around on their mother's back. So their mother carries them on her back for another 2 months after they leave the pouch. Okay, tal Yanudino ga sohi uniji un kila di degon. Okay, so that on means that habitually. We're kind of really working on that habitual tense. It's not. I don't think we really have such a thing in English, or if we do, it's not something that's really obvious, at least to me. But remember that habitual tense talks about things that are done over and over and over and over again. Now, not all speakers use the habitual tense that often. For example, like when you're asking, or when you're telling somebody where you work, that this is something that you did in Cherokee 2, right? You said "Dagilastane," right? For a lot of speakers, they'll either say, for example, for me, I'll say, Dalagia Yetle Cherokee Nation, Dagilastane. And that means I work at Cherokee Nation. However, the more correct way to probably say it, or because I don't just work there one day, I work there habitually, right? It's something that I do over a period of time. So, Dagilastane hon, that hon at the end means that I work there on a recurring basis, right? Dagilastane hon. Okay, whenever I just say "Talagia yetle dagilastane," that really kind of just says I'm working at Cherokee Nation, right now, and it doesn't talk about that I'm, do it on a habitual basis, or it's not, something that I do over and over and over again. So that on, but again, you'll hear speakers do it either way. So, and it's just what you're used to, and a speaker's going to understand you regardless. They're gonna know kind of hopefully what you mean, but there are instances when that habitual tense is very important, but for the most part, they're kind of interchangeable with the present. But here in this article that we're reading about possums, you'll hear that on sound used a lot. So, for example, in this one, un kila di degon, okay, un kila di degon, okay, that on is habitual, right? Let's see if we have it in this. So, June stihisko. Oh, yep, there it is. Yun dotakwaski, yun dotakwask. Un ja on, gano da'i. So, that on here at the end of this word, you might recognize that word un ja unza means to be inside of something, right? They're in something, and that unza on means they're habitually inside there. So because we're talking about general characteristics of a baby possum, and not just one single possum. We're talking about all possums do this, right? Presumably, right? Okay, so let's read this one here. This says, oh, okay. This is a fairly small sentence, and you may be able to figure this one out. So I'm going to give you just a couple of seconds to see if you can read it, first of all. And I don't think there are any spelling errors, so that should be helpful for you. Then I'll read it with you. And then we'll see if you already know kind of what it's talking about. So this says, ujetsti, ujetsti, sa, ne, don't. Okay? Ujetsti. Unasa anedon. Okay? So ujetsti unasa anedon. Anedon. So ujetsti, do you recognize that word? Ujetsti. I hope by now you recognize that word because it's what the article is about, right? It's about possums. So ujetsti is the possum. Unasa, unasa, unasa. Okay, unasa can mean they're only, or they're alone, or they're by themselves. Unasa, right? Anedon, anedon, anedon. They live, or they exist, or they go around. This anedo can be translated a couple different ways. So let's see how this translates out. Okay, so possums are solitary animals. So up here, literally it's saying possums kind of go around alone, okay? So possums live alone, or they go around, they go through life alone, okay? You're not going to come upon a herd of wild possums. Now, of course, you know, when a mother is carrying its babies, you'll see more than one, but once they become adults, they go out on their own, and they become solitary creatures, right? Okay, so here's an interesting one. All right, so this says, Anita lagi Udaha Ujetsti Danigi Skon Aseno Go iha Hawiya Ge Soni. Okay, so even though this is a long sentence, I think parts of it you might be able to figure out. And of course, if you look at the picture, it might help as well. Okay, Ani jalaki. Ani jalaki. Does that word ring a bell? Ani jalaki. Cherokee people, right? Yudaha, Yudaha, Yudaha. Often or sometimes or from time to time, depending on the context, but we'll use sometimes. Ujetsti, ujetsti, possums or possum. Ujetsti, dani gisko, dani gisko. Okay, so from this word we know that ujetsti itself can be either singular or plural, right? It can be possum or possums. We're going to have to go to this word to find out whether it's possums or a possum, right? So, dani gisko. Does that word ring a bell for you? Dani gisko. It should ring a bell. Let's go back, okay? Because I really want you to try to figure this word out by yourself, okay? So here is the word here, dani gisko, ujetsti, unilakti, uyodzahi, gitli unigisti, ale, uli hoja, ganatla, jukol, dani gisko. Okay, it's there. And I believe it is probably, it's unigisti, so it's not quite the same here, but it is dani gisko. Okay, it's exactly the same there. So dani gisko is they, the ani, the d means them, okay? Agisko, habitually eat, okay? So, let's go back. Ani jalaki yudaha ujetsti dani gisko. So, sometimes Cherokee people eat possums. Sometimes Cherokee people eat possums. I don't know how many of you realize this, but a lot of what we consider to be Southern food or Southern cooking or soul food is many parts of it actually came from the indigenous people of the South. Okay, so including eating possum. You might have heard about eating possum maybe if you've watched reruns of the Beverly Hillbillies or things like that. But yes, people did in fact eat possums, including Cherokee people. So ani talaki yu da ha ujetsti dani gisko. Say no, but say no. Go e ha, go e ha. We'll come back and look at this word here in just a minute. Go in, ha. Hawiya, hawiya. Ge so in. Okay, so can you figure out these words here? I'll say no, but go in. You may have been exposed to the word go in. Okay. Go-in means grease or oil, something like that. And that ha kind of turns it into an adjective. So a good example of that would be gada. Gada is dirt, right? Gada, gadaha. Gadaha means dirty, right? So Go'i means grease. Go'iha means greasy. Okay, greasy. Hawiya, hawiya, the meat. Son, it's typically, it is. Okay, typically it is. Say no. Go'iha, hawiya, son. So typically the meat is greasy. All right. So I'll read through that one more time for you. Ani chalagi, you da ha, ujesti, dani gisko, aseno, go I ha, hawiya, ge soi. Okay? So Cherokees sometimes eat possums, but the meat is greasy. Okay? So that's what this sentence, let's see. Let's see how close we are. Cherokees would sometimes eat possums, but the meat is greasy. Okay? So let's go ahead and we've got basically 3 sentences here. Let's go ahead and go back through them. So, tal yanadi no ga sohi uniji un kila di degon. Okay, un kila di degon. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll do a little bit of quizzing. Let me ask you some questions. So I'll give you the Cherokee and you tell me if you can read the English, okay? So Gatohyat tal, Yonegigant. Gatohyat, how do you say? Tal or tali, Yonegigant in English. And of course that's the number 2. Gatohyat uniji, Gatohyat uniji, Gatohyat uniji, uniji, Gatohyat uniji, uniji, their mother, uniji, their mother. Gatohyat gasohi, Gatohyat gasohi, gasohi, gasohi. His or her back. Gatohyat unkilud, Gatohyat unkilud, unkilud. They ride around. Unkiludi degon, unkiludi degon, unkiludi degon. They ride, or they, again, they habitually ride around. Okay, let's take the next sentence. This is a really short one. Ujetsti unasa anedon. Remember, ujetsti unasa anedon. They're solitary animals. They live alone, right? Or they go around, they go through life alone, right? So, Gatohyat ujetsti. Gatohyat ujetsti. Gatohyat ujetsti. Ujetsti possum. Gatohyat anedon. Gatohyat anedon. 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 That means they live or they go around. Gatohyat unasa. Gatohyat unasa. 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 They're alone. They're by themselves. And the last sentence that we had, Ani chalaki yu da ha ujechti da ni gisko. Ase no go iha hawiya ge so e. Okay, so quite a few words in there, but they're all very doable. Okay. Gadohyat, dani gisko. Gadohyat dani gisko, dani gisko. Danigi sko. They eat them. Danigi sko. They eat them. Gadohyat hawiya. Gadohyat hawiya. 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 Meat. Gadohyat ani jalaki. Gadohyat ani jalaki. The Cherokee people. Gadohyat yudaha. Gadohyat yudaha. Yudaha. Sometimes. Gadohyat goiha. 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 Greasy. Greasy. Gadohyat ge soe. Gadohyat ge soe. Gadohyat ge soe. It is habitually. That on, we know, is referring to the habitual tense. All right? So hopefully this is getting easier for you, right? I hope it is. So if it's not, don't worry about it. Just keep going over the lessons, listen to them again, and every time you listen to them, you'll pick up a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. I do realize that Cherokee can be very daunting because it seems like, at least for myself, when I started, it seems like no word is ever said the same way twice, right? But over time, you'll be able to discern what that root is, and that will be your first step in understanding. Is once you can pick out what that word is talking about, you may not know all the bits and pieces, all the other stuff that goes with it, but you'll know in general what the word is. And then all the rest of it will come in time, and knowing when to use it and when not comes with practice and hearing people use it in context. So that's all the time that we have for you today. I just want to say wadon. Thank you for being here. And Jadok Sos Dest Don Dago.